Greetings, South Dance Alliance, and welcome to Hair and Makeup Tutorial 2.0. Can you do that? 2.0.
What?
I have my model, Sarah, with me. She is going to help us model our hair. Chase will also help us model our hair, and so will Princess Tika. So we're going to start with the bun. This will be the hair that's required for your show this semester, so I'm going to show you how to build a bun. This is good with weave, as long as you have good leave out. Yes, she doesn't have weave, okay? But as long as you have good leave out, you should be able to cover your tracks very good. This also works for crochet hair. It also works for braids as well. And then I'll show you what to do for all of my natural babies that have wonderful, beautiful, amazing afros. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that Sarah's hair is brushed out. So I'm using, this is a Conair brush. I picked this up at Walmart. So I'm just going to brush her hair all the way through the front and the back, making sure there are no tangles or anything like that in her hair. And I'm also going to brush this lovely part that she has in her hair out. So we're going to set that out. And then the first thing we're going to do is build this ponytail. I want to make sure that it's nice and good, so the ponytail goes up pretty easy. Okay? And make sure you get that kitchen. Lord have mercy. This is also her natural hair, no product, no process, besides a flat iron and a blowout. It's more blowout-y these days. So the next thing I'm going to do is, this is Softy Argan Oil, just to kind of coat her hair, because we will be putting products in her hair. So just to kind of coat it through one good time and make sure that she doesn't have any damage to her hair, because we're going to be brushing it, brushing it, and brushing it, and brushing it. So that's the next thing. Then for her hair, this is Luster's Renutrients Mousse. Just a couple of pumps of that. This is also good for crochet hair. It keeps your crochet hair very soft. I use it all the time. It smells good. It's a basic setting mousse. And then lastly, I'm going to put some, whatever gel you use. This is Let's Jam Extra Hold. And this is really good for her edges, so that we don't have to break off those edges. It is a water-based product, so you're not going to get a lot of flakes and everything. It's easy to hold, still easy to work with. Some of that in the back. And then I'm going to use a regular brush. Again, I don't even know if this brush is, but I picked it up from Walmart years ago. And we're going to start smoothing out those edges, making sure that they're nice and laid flat. You don't want any baby hair sticking up or anything like that. And I'm brushing this ponytail, which is going to be the base of our bun, toward the crown of her head. Making sure we get the back really good, because you don't want anything sticking out from there either. Again, this is near the top of her head, not all the way right here, but right where your head starts to slope in the back, where you would pull it up for the halfway near the ear. That's kind of the angle that I'm going for. Right there. And with a scrunchie, her hair color, we're going to start to just make a basic ponytail. Now, don't worry, there are a couple things sticking up. We're going to fix all of that. Pull that nice and tight. So there you have a basic ponytail. Now we're going to fix these little lumpies. This is a teasing brush by Conair. I also got this at Walmart. And this part will be covered, so you don't really have to stress so much with what that looks like in particular here. But it's really nice and smooth, as you can see, toward the bottom. And of course, if you need to add more product, you're holding whatever you're going to use. If you're going to use hairspray, which I highly recommend, then definitely use some hairspray. We use Suave Extra Hold. It comes in a pink can. You can get that at the Dollar Tree. But we're out of that right now, so. And then again, we're going to take the top of it, and with the teasing comb, because it has smaller bristles, you can get those little fine hairs on both sides. And then make sure that you wipe off any excess on your face. Well, you want to do your hair first before you do your makeup for that reason. And so this is the ponytail, and now we're about to build the bun. So now we're going to brush out the ponytail again, even though we brushed her hair at the beginning, just to make sure that her hair is nice and smooth. So when you build this ponytail, it's really easy to build too, when you build this bun. So you need some bobby pins, preferably the color of your hair. Yes, they do make blonde bobby pins. They also make bobby pins for redheads, which is awesome. So what we're going to do is gently begin to lightly twist. Lightly twist. So you don't want to like twist it heavy and tight, because then it'll cone up. So you want to lightly twist. And then as you go around, and you can build this to the left or the right, it doesn't matter. But as you start to go around, while stretching, you can go ahead and start bobby pinning. And your bobby pins go this way with the waves down. So that way it keeps its grip. It doesn't matter what kind of bobby pins you use, really, as long as they will hold your hair. And then as you twist it around, you want to do like a beginning twist. And then, thank you, Princess Isara. She's helping. You want to do the beginning twist and then leave the rest of it out like that. And then as you keep going around, you can twist it a little bit. Stick the bobby pin in there. And then twist a little bit more. Make sure your bobby pins are straight. So this also gives the appearance of a fuller bun. This is about, by the time I'm done with this will be about 5, maybe 6 bobby pins. And put them in all directions. And then this little piece right here at the end, this is the part you want to twist really, really tight. So it'll go in the bun and tuck all the way in the bun. Okay, and shake your head. If you feel like this is going to come out a little bit, go ahead and put some more of these bobby pins in there. But I also highly, highly, highly recommend that you use a hairnet. That will save you. And that'll also keep all these little stragglies that you see right here. You see those? It'll keep those down as well. So I'm going to go in with a few more bobby pins just to tighten up the back, because that's what I like to see. It makes it look really nice and neat. And then after that's done, once that's done, this is where I would insert the hairnet. And after the hairnet, I'm going to go back in with the brush. And this is also where you would want a hairspray if you're going to use hairspray. Hairspray first, then brush. And just refine those little hairsies that decided to pop out when you told them not to. Just like that. And again, you see how kind of it looks a little frizzy, like frizzled right here. That's where that hairnet would keep it nice and neat. And that is your ballet bun. All right, so for all my babies that have crocheted hair, this is Chase. Say hello.
Hello.
Like this. 2.0? No, okay. So Chase's hair is completely crocheted with the exception of the front, which is fine. So her hair is crocheted in such a manner that she can pull it up in the back and not look like she's wearing a wig. So we're going to show you kind of how that looks. See, on the side and on the other side, and then swap this way. Here's the back, which we will also brush up so that these little fine babies will lay just nice and neat. So again, I'm gonna go in with my Let's Jam Extra Hold. I've already tamed the front, so now I'm gonna tame the back. Moving down chin to chest. Very good. I'm just gonna put this on here so I can brush up the back edges, and then they'll be brushed up against the crochet, so to kind of blend just a little bit. Just like that. Beautiful. So now, just like I did with Isara's hair, we're gonna start to build the bun. All right, so now we're gonna build this ponytail. Again, a scrunchie. And we're gonna pull it up in that same angle where the ear is. So we're gonna pull it up like you would have the path down. If you don't know how to do that, see our 1.0 tutorial. And we're gonna pull all of this through the scrunchie, twice through, so it's good and tight. Just like that. Almost like that. Make sure all the hair is pulled through, that's very important. And then from here, just like that, pull it so it's kind of open. And from here, we'll start to build our bun with our bobby pins. Chase, if you would not mind to do the honors. The same way we did Isara's bun, we're gonna do Chase's bun. So for this, you'll definitely want to have a hairnet. And we're gonna actually start with little pieces of hair at a time. But just the same way, bobby pin down with the waves. And just stick it on in there. And the cool thing about when you use crochet hair, this is how you're doing your hair, is that the curls don't lose their shape even when you put them in a bun. For some of this, I'm using longer bobby pins simply because the hair is thicker. Turn your head this way. And I'm trying my best to tuck it in as close as I can. So when I put the bobby pin in there, and again, you can put the bobby pin all kinds of ways to make sure it will stay. And as I wrap the hair underneath, trying to make sure I eliminate all the little cutesy curls. Amen, girl, amen. We're just about done, and this leads to a flatter bun, but it's okay. But this will also, the hairnet will also help with keeping the shape of the bun. And because she has a couple of little curly cues, I would just go in with a bobby pin since I don't have a hairnet, and just bobby pin those little babies down. Bing. And then since you can manipulate it, I would just make sure that you are trying to make it look like a circle and not like an egg. And then once you put the hairnet on, all of this will lay nice and flat. And then you want to go back and just make sure you touch up these edges. You can hairspray those. And of course, you know, Chase's hair has been crocheted for quite some time, so it's getting a little close to that time to take it all out. But you can use some hairspray to hold down these sweet edges, or you can even set this at night and then tie your edges down so they'll be nice and flat for the day going into rehearsal in the show. And of course, wearing a bun to school is not a bad idea. One less thing you have to do at the beginning of rehearsal. And there is our crochet bun. Finally, Tika is here. Say hello, Tika.
Hello.
Tika's going to help us show how to pull back our natural hair for those of us that have these wonderful, beautiful, tight curls. So basically, we need a gigantic headband, one of those long headbands. Yes, this one's kind of worn out. See how far it stretches? Woo! So this is going to be good because Tika has a really big head. So first thing we're going to do is wrap it around once, choke her, wrap it around twice. If you have a new one, that's about as good as it's going to get. Then from here, so now it's right here on her hairline, we're going to pull it back like this. Very simple. From here, you're just going to fluff it out so that it looks sort of like a bun. Not really, but it's all fluffed out. It's out of our way, so it's not going to go like this all over our face. She almost died. It's okay. So once we fluff it out all nice and pretty simple and easy. Turn for the people. All the way around. And pull it up to the back. And you can use a brush to kind of brush this up if you'd like. You don't have to. Turn this way. And there's our natural style. So now you have 3 ways.
She has to be Princess Tika.
Now you have 3 ways to do your hair. So if you have a weave or straight hair, if you have crocheted hair or crocheted braids, or if you're rocking the natural, it's only 3. And don't forget, in the makeup tutorial, once you watch it, if you use brushes, make sure you clean them after you apply your makeup. And we out, y'all!
Yeah! And just to let y'all know, Princess Tika shall be seeing y'all later. Bye.
Ow!
Princess Tika is killed.
Cut! Hello, dance students, and welcome to Makeup Tutorial 2.0. Today, we're going to be beating Chase's face and giving her some ultimate slayage, like you would not believe. But this is basic stage makeup that I would love to see all of you achieve without going all extra crazy like I did with the extra colors. So we're going to use some very basic products, and we're going to use some things that are going to make your face look neutral but still stand out. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with Chase's eyebrows, because the eyebrows frame the face. And we're going to start by taming them with the mascara spoolie. If you have any type of brush, eyebrow brush, that'd be fine. But Chase has really pretty eyebrows already. So I'm just going to kind of follow in the shape just to darken them up a little bit. And set those. This is Wet n Wild eyeliner. It's a brown. This is I don't even know what color it is, but it's brown. And it's awesome to use as an eyebrow pencil. So I'm going to start by filling in her eyebrows with some really natural strokes. Again, even though this is makeup, it is not your average day makeup. This is stage makeup, so it has to be a little bit dramatic. So you want to make sure that if you're doing eyebrows, which you should be doing, that you're really darkening them so that they can be seen on stage. By the time you add all those lights and different color lights on the stage, you don't want to wash out. So you also don't want to paint your eyebrows on like a clown. You can use a dip pot if that's what you prefer to do your eyebrows with. Just whatever will make them look more natural. So I'm just gonna go up like this and just follow the shape of her eyebrow. But we are gonna box it some to give her some definition.
You mean box it? You actually do box it? Like box?
Like a box.
Oh,
So that's with one eyebrow filled in and just an outline of the other eyebrow. So I'm going to start to fill that in. And it's okay to cover those little hairs that help them lay flat later on. Boop. And you don't have to cover them completely. And then, okay, so next I have a brow groomer. It has a comb on one side and a brush on the other. And this will help us just to blend in those colors, that color into her eyebrows, and make her eyebrows look nice and neat, and kind of bring down the bottom as well. Do them on both sides. And then you don't have to use so much product, and you're still maintaining those brows. Giving them full life. See? Full life, baby. Full life. Just like that. And of course, with any brushing that you're going to do, you're probably going to have to go back in and define those lines, because you want to make sure that your brows are seen as eyebrows and not black smudges on your face. And as you can see, this is a very dark pencil. It's a very nice dark brown, so it kind of blends in with her hairs as well. And then to set that, this is Mary Kay Brow Gel. This is an amazing product. You can see a Mary Kay representative for that. Just open that up. And it looks like mascara. You can also use clear mascara, which works wonders. And we're gonna follow the same line of her eyebrows, just like I did with the spoolie. And that'll tame those little brow hairs. And it usually lasts for a while. This particular product does. And it's pretty much waterproof, so you can sweat through it, and as long as you don't touch your face, which you should not when you're performing, you should be good to go. Next, you want to start with an eye primer for your eyelid. This is e.l.f. eye primer. And we're going to dot this. This is also a great base for colors, so you don't have to have a transition shade. If this is not your color, it's a great transition shade. And just rub that in with your finger. With this particular product, you want to work kind of fast because it dries really, really quickly. And you want to make sure that you get the crease as well, because you'll be putting color there. Get in the corner and smooth it out. And as you can see, it actually looks like an eyeshadow. It's a cream to powder finish, which is really amazing. But you just want to make sure you work with it fast, or else once it sets, it's done. I always use a brush. This is the e.l.f. crease brush from their $1 line. And I'm going in with my Morphe palette. This is the 35N Morphe palette. Love Morphe. Lots of pretty colors. Lots of pretty colors. So we're going to start with a dark color. Again, because I don't need a transition shade, because I use the e.l.f. eye primer as a transition shade, I'm going to go right in with, let's see how I feel about life today. We're going to go right in with this brown here. So just kind of dip that in. Close your eyes. Here. As a matter of fact, open your eyes for me. Sometimes if you don't know where your crease is, what you want to do, open and look at me, is keep your eyes open when you try to define your crease. So her eye is open, and then you can start defining that crease. The object of this game is to define the crease. And you want to use matte colors. You don't want to use anything with shimmer, because then you're going to look a sweaty mess. And your eyes are not going to look amazing. If you are a darker tone, don't be afraid of black. If you are a lighter tone, if your foundation is more of an ivory, don't be afraid of dark brown. That's the only thing that I can really strongly suggest. Open your eyes and look at me. Thank you. So just kind of while her eye is open, finding that crease. The one thing I can say about the Morphe palette, there is quite a bit of fallout. So you want to use a really good primer to make sure that that stays right in there. And then once you've defined the crease, then you can just kind of go in with the one-eye blinky thing that we all do as women to make that a little bit darker. Again, it's about the drama of the makeup, because you don't want to blend in with the lighting. You want to stand out from the lights so that it doesn't look like you were punched in the face. You have a black eye. Again, with stage makeup, doing things like a cat eye are not necessary. That's really only for like your nighttime look, but you are a performer, so the object of the game is to make it look like you have on no makeup. So now I'm going in with the e.l.f. Professional Eyeshadow Brush, again from their $1 line. And I'm gonna go in with the brow bone highlight. And for Chase, I'm probably gonna start here with this peach, like tannish, ivoryish color right here. So it's pretty. Look at it on the brush. It's pretty. So we're gonna go in with that. Close your eyes for me, and we're just gonna go underneath this brow bone here. I'm doing it as a lefty. It would help us all. Just like that. And don't be afraid to blend the two colors together. Again, it's supposed to look natural. This one. And you're always going to use a brush to blend that out. So don't be afraid to mix those colors together. It looks kind of crazy, right? It should look a little bit crazy up close, because you want people from the very last row to see you as though they're standing right in front of your face. And then for the last color, I'm going to go in with this color right here, this pretty brown. It's going to be kind of like a way for us to bring our regular eyelid color back home. So it's a nice neutral color. It's got a little bit of a red undertone. I like it. I'm going to bring that in on the lid. Bring that in on the lid. Again, don't be afraid to blend those colors together. They should be blended anyway. And that way we have a nice neutral eye. And then this whole idea of this darker crease is to give your eye some dimension on stage too. So play with it a few times before you come to the theater and say, "Ooh, I got my makeup," and then you look a hot mess. Don't do that. Play with it a couple times. Get your life in order. And then what I like to do for her is use a fan brush. This is a basic, this was given to me for Christmas, so I don't even know where these brushes came from. But just to kind of dust off her face and then use it to kind of just mosh pit those colors together. Woo. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with the Wet n Wild crayon pencil. This is an eyeliner pencil in black. Whatever color your eyelashes are, that's the color eyeliner you need. So she has black lashes. And just drawing a line, nice simple strokes. Again, no need for the awesome cat eye. That's going to do nothing but make you look like you were punched in the face. The whole idea is to avoid the punching of the face thing. You don't want to look like you have two black eyes and red lipstick. That would not be good. We don't want you to look like a harlot. And of course, if you're having someone do this for you, please make sure you're using your own products. Do not share products, especially eye products. We trust our friends, but we don't know where their brushes have been, where their eye pencils have been, where their fingers have been. So you want to make sure that you're using your own products. And most of this you can score from the Dollar Tree. So if you are a person that does not wear makeup all the time, don't feel like you have to go to the MAC counter or the Clinique counter or even Ulta really. You don't have to go into a high-end store. You can go to a Walgreens, CVS. This is all, I got all this stuff. The Wet n Wild stuff, I believe I purchased it. Walgreens, it was on sale. It was like 2 for 4, some foolishness like that. The eyeshadow palette that I'm using today, even though it's a higher end eyeshadow palette, it was given to me by my students as a gift. Shout out to Art in Motion 2015-2016 for that amazing gift. And then again, these brushes were given to me for Christmas from my godmother. So, just kind of whatever you have. So that is what the eyes look like. And I know you're saying, where's the mascara? We're going to put that on at the end after we put our setting spray on so that it doesn't run. So now that we've got the eyes just about done, minus the mascara, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and dress the face. So I have in my hand, this is Maybelline Masters Prime by Face Studio. This is a really good primer for the face. This one is the 200, which is the Blur and Illuminate, which alleviates the need for highlights, which you don't want that. You don't want highlight. You don't. Highlight? Not on stage. So this is what it looks like. It's got a little shimmer in it, so you don't need to put any highlight. You don't need a whole bunch either. So I'm gonna dot that. And as you see, as I'm rubbing it in, you can see the iridescence in it. It's supposed to blur and illuminate. So we're blurring away all of our teenage skin and illuminating in all the awesome proper places. I think this is Chase's favorite part because this is like a little mini facial massage. Would you agree? Yeah. I wish I had a mommy to do my makeup. I mean, I do, but So you can see that her face is primed, done all the great areas. And just be careful, don't rub it on your eyebrows. You can go into the hairline a little bit. It doesn't smell bad, and it's not bad for your hair. So you don't have to like a line right here. and then it's like makeup from here down, and you forgot like this much of the skin. So I'm going in with, this is Rimmel Match Perfect Concealer in 430 medium. And this is, even though she does not have dark circles, this is just to add the dimension to her face. And I'm just kind of going in there, squeeze a little bit. There we go. Just kind of going in there, tiger striping that all over the place. So you can define those lines right there and make her look pretty. And I'm gonna rub that in with, this is the e.l.f. powder brush from their $1 line, but I think this is like $2. I don't know. So I'm really gonna go in there. This is good for your powder, but this is also good for a soft concealer coverage. And this is, you know, medium buildable coverage. So you don't have to feel like you're slathering it on. It's not Vaseline. So just something to kind of blur those lines that you may have, or a couple of extra pimples. You can spot use it, but if you're gonna spot use it, you don't wanna like dab it. You wanna put it on a brush and go like that. And then next I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Matte in the color 330 Toffee Caramel. And I'm going to use the finger apply method. Now, here's the thing about liquid. If you're going to use a liquid, you have to use a powder. You cannot have just a liquid and no powder. Anybody want to guess why? Because it'll get on our costume, Miss Collins. That is correct. So, once you put on your liquid, lovelies, you've got to set it with a powder. So again, I'm going in with that brush. Whatever you use to apply your makeup is wonderful. I'm going in with this brush, that e.l.f. brush, and this is where you start to blur that hairline area all around the face, even into the ear, some down underneath the chin. And if you do this before you leave home on Thursday and Friday of your show, when you come to the theater, please make sure you have a towel. So when you put your costume on, if it has to go overhead, you put the towel on your face, then put the costume on. No makeup on the costume. It's like magic. It really is. I promise. Very good. And you can still see that shimmer through this liquid, which is holding very well. And then this is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder, warm in the color W7. Okay, and I'm going in with that brush again, so rub that in nice and good. And this is a really awesome foundation. And if you notice, I'm not rubbing, I'm patting. What's going to happen is the patting motion is going to set that powder down, and it's going to set that liquid foundation. So you kind of want to look a little bit cakey, but not like scrape it off and I look two different colors. But you want that powder to really set all of that liquid that you just laid down on your face. And if you look, you can still see some of that iridescence, which is beautiful. Let's find some more. And it's okay if you get a little bit like on the lips, it's fine. So that's done. And lastly, I'm going to go in with things to put on the face. CoverGirl Cheekers. I don't know what color this is. It says blush. So I'm going in with this blush brush. It's just, you know, a little cheap blush brush. And we're just gonna rub that in on the cheeks. Suck it in like a fish, girl. She already knows what to do. And because she's young, this is a nice little pink color. As a high schooler, you might want to go in with something a little more closer to rose, not red, unless you're of a darker tone. Darker tones look really nice in berries, berry colored, something that looks like a raspberry or a pomegranate type color. You guys know I'm hungry and I like to eat, so most of everything I'm going to refer to will be food at any given time. And this, because the Cheekers has a very nice little glitter to it, you don't need to add any highlight to that. So it's already built in for you. And then I'm going in with Mary Kay finishing spray, the makeup finishing spray. I think this is Isara and Chase's absolute favorite part of their whole life. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3.
Can I open it?
Yes. So that is going to set down all that makeup you just applied to your face. And this really isn't cakey, and it is a nice and natural look. So your parents don't have to be afraid of you wearing makeup. And again, most of this you can find at the drugstore. All right, so next we're going in with the CoverGirl, the Super Sizer Mascara. This is really good for falsies too. So after you apply your falsies, this is what the brush looks like. It's really good. Look up. Blink. Don't blink so hard. Blink. 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 One more blink. Oh! We'll clean that up. Okay, ready? Alright, leave it open. And sometimes we make mistakes. We have awesome ways to clean those up. The good thing about mascara is when it dries, it can be a little bit flaky. So when it's done drying, you give it a moment to dry, and then you can just scrape it off. Alright, so I'm going in with the Rimmel London Exaggerate Full Lip Color in the color Red Diva number 24. And this is, you know, with little kids, this helps create a border for their lips so that they're not smudging and the lipstick doesn't run all over the place. And it's also a great idea just to put on some lip liner so that you can really color inside the lines and you don't have makeup all over underneath your nose. That could be tragic. And look, you have a nosebleed on stage. Some people like to fully color in the lip and then go in with a lipstick. I just kind of line the lips because it's what it's for. But if you need a lip primer, then I would definitely say do the full lip. Close your mouth. Okay. And very lastly, but definitely not least, I'm going to go in with this lipstick. It is Tease Cosmetics in the color Red Romantic. It's really, really pretty. And it smells really, really good. What do you think?
It smells like strawberries.
It does. So that's what it looks like. And I got this from, I subscribe to Ipsy. And they send you samples of makeup every month for $10. And I picked this up from them. Again, the object of the game is to be as matte as you can. And just very lightly like this. Good job. And we have ourselves a face. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate your attention and time, and we hope that you can look at this fabulous hair and makeup, and I can't wait to see you guys for the show. Look, kisses.